participate in this lovely sport. We here now. If you on that hit squad, then hit hard. Bogart and take charge. If you got accuracy to be the QB, then let me see you throw it deep.
Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Under the Lights, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk and Purple and Gold for Days. Let's go, let's go. Make sure you help me Hulk smash the YouTube algorithms by hitting like and ring the bell. Let's go, let's go. Justin, what's up, man? How you been? How was your trip?
My trip? You mean my trip back home? It was good. Late at night, you know. Am I frozen or are you frozen?
I'm live as can be, and I can see you live as can be.
All right, my screen is frozen, so as long as you're telling me that I'm still coming through, then I'll just.
Hey, can everybody see Justin? I can.
All right, that's good enough.
All right.
Now the trip home was fun, you know, getting home after midnight. But you know what? It was a great weekend.
We lost Justin. Let me get some shout outs here. We got Raymond in the house. What's up, man? We got Dave, First and Scold. Let's go. Gary's in the house. What's up, man? What's up? Soda Kid. Pleasure to meet you. I'm thinking about getting some tattoos now. Gary again. Why I got Gary twice? But let's see here. Let me get some more. I got T-Bass in the house. I got Davey Chains in the house. What's going on? Everybody, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Mary Fisk's in the house. All right, let's go. Oh my goodness. Well, there we go. We got Blood Eagle Smeagol. What's up? How's it doing? I love that icon, man. That's my favorite picture of all time. Z31 in the house. Let's go. Good day. We talking about Kirk Cousins Day? I'm sure. Let's see. Bob Swede's in the house. Let's go. All right. Oh, gosh. You guys had some catching up to do. Von Joyner in the house. Let's go. Skolden in the house. I already said Raymond, but I can't do it enough. Raymond Hoagland again in the house. Skull for Life. What's going on? Let's go. Nice meeting you, man. What do we got? Skull fellas, just hit that like button. Awesome. Appreciate it. Do what this guy did. Hit that like button. Help me Hulk smash the YouTube algorithms. Oh, of course, we got. This is funny. He posted. He's told me he's too shy to come on the show, but boy, did that guy get up on stage. I don't know about you. Everybody saw that. My boy Skull Mafia got up on stage. Dr. Proto, what's up? Good afternoon, man. Let's see. What do we got here? Mick Andrews in the house. In the hizzy. Oh my gosh. You guys, some of you guys just saw each other in live. All right, guys. Oh, JJ Viking House. What's up, nephew? What's up? JJ's gonna be on the show tomorrow. Let's go. JJ, I haven't seen it yet. What'd you tag it to me in? Did you tag me YouTube, Twitter? Let me know. I'll go look for it. What do we got? Oh my goodness, Purple Haze Podcast. What's going on? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry we made you wait 2 minutes. This is crazy. Awesome, guys. Way to show up. Let's go. Yeah, my trip went uneventful. I actually got a lot of sleep the past couple of days, but I still feel tired, man. Still feel tired. How's your volume going, man?
Mine?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
I could see something was getting, all of a sudden my entire computer froze and then I couldn't hear you anymore. So I'm like, all right, I'll just go on the phone and see if the computer comes back later. So
what's up, Anthony Cartagena?
What's up, Anthony?
What's going on?
So who's all in the building? I missed everybody.
You can look at the chat. It's a plethora of purple and gold for life Viking fans bleeding purple all over the place after that loss. I'm sure a little wounded, but optimistic. Hopefully, hey, drop shot. What's
Thanks,
going on?
T-Bass. Thanks,
Talk to me on
T-Bass.
Twitter today. Appreciate that.
Hold
But
on.
hey, let's start with a little light-hearted story. Even though Aaron Rodgers was involved, everybody see that story about that bar giving out free drinks?
Yes, I was gonna bring that up to you. That's funny as well.
Free drinks if the Jets lost, and then Aaron Rodgers goes out like in the fourth play, and everybody started racking up their tab just to have it go into overtime. Well, they kicked the doink field goal to tie it.
Yep.
The Bills did, and it goes into overtime, and Jets pull it out, and they all have to pay their tab. That is the best. That's one of the best Packers getting screwed stories that I ever heard. Packer fans getting screwed stories that I ever heard. It's up there. It's definitely up there.
Well, it's the old saying in gambling: the house always wins. And the house won last night at that bar somewhere deep in the heart of Wisconsin. That's what you get. That's what you get. I heard somebody had like a $1,200 bill. I'm like, I get it, it's Wisconsin, but seriously, it was like a group of four. They had like a $1,200 bill. They thought they were in the winner's circle. They thought it was easy money. Yeah, well, think again, bitches. Think again.
Hey, I want to pay back our listeners. I'm gonna be running contests all the time. Let me. We have a 3-channel drawing that we're doing between GG Boys, GG Sports Podcast, Purple and Gold for Days, Justin's channel, and my channel, and we're going to just various things, trivia questions during the show, things like that you can be a part of. So as we're doing this, as I'm doing live shows in the future, as I'm doing any show, I'm gonna have ways for you guys to get entries in that contest. So, and if you're following me on Twitter, definitely follow me there because you'll have plenty of advantage. Even if you're already subscribed to this, I'm gonna have you have ways to win. So let's go. So first one, if you guys have rung the bell on both of our channels, just email me at MN Sports Podcast. I'm going to put that up. MN Sports Podcast. I'll give you 5 entries into the contest of that Justin Jefferson jersey. 5 entries if you email me at MN Sports Podcast at gmail.com. And I'll leave that running at the bottom, okay? So do that. If you've rung the bell, just zap grab your just take a screen grab of that and email it to me to mnsportspodcast at gmail.com. You can also, what's that? Minnesota Sports Talk with Al Smith, Angel Dust Sr. What's up? What's going on? You're just pointing at these names or what?
I'm just pointing at the chats. You keep doing your read. I'll keep people going on the chats. Now that we finally got the technology figured out where we both got control here, you do your read and I'll keep going with
your sign languaging shout outs. All right. Yes, what's up? What's up, guys? Angel Dust, Skull for Life.
What's up, Ruben?
Ruben, what's up, man?
Anyway, continue.
But yeah, just email me to mnsportspodcast at gmail.com. If you have rung the bell on each of our YouTube channels, send an image to that, and I'll give you 5 entries into the Justin Jefferson autograph jersey contest. Plus, I'm going to be giving giveaways sporadically between then. But that's my 3,000 subscriber contest. But yeah, let's talk some football. Just my email will be at the bottom, so feel free to do that. What's your takeaways, man? What'd you end up with the game, man? After it was all said and done, did you get a chance to look at it again, or?
Why in the hell would I want to watch that crap again?
I don't know. You got a YouTube channel?
Yeah, once is enough. Once is enough. It was a wasted opportunity. Aside from the fact, we had a lot of people that we know that were in the building. You and Rap and SK and JJ, and a lot of all the fans that came out to Skull Fest and, 60 some other thousand Vikings fans, to kind of put up that kind of performance in a day you're dedicating to the late great Bud Grant, I was really disappointed. You know, because you shot yourself in the foot more than anything. So to me, it's was very disappointed. Appreciate you, T-Bass. Appreciate you. By the way, if y'all, I'm working on it. It's still rebooting, T-Bass. I'm working on getting my stuff together. I don't know why, because I had already rebooted it earlier. All of a sudden, it just froze for some reason. But in all seriousness, as far as the game goes, I was happy with the defensive performance. There were some plays that you look back at and be like, why are we off 12 yards on 3rd and 10? But by and large, if you told me going into the game we were going to give up 20 points, we would have taken that. We would have taken that. Yeah,
I had
couple
said
plays here or there.
34-17. Yeah, so I would have took 20. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying that the defense was beyond criticism. I mean, you had a lot of 3 and outs up until that last 2-minute drive, and then you give up a touchdown. Okay, that happens. And then you come out after halftime and give up a touchdown 9-minute drive. And
well, that's the thing. It would have been shorter. It would have been shorter if we would have just not been offsides in that field goal.
Right, that too. But my point is, defensively, I think you can't say it was a perfect performance, but I think what you can say is it fell into reasonable expectations. A reasonable expectation based on what this defense was last year and where the majority of the talent of this team lies. I thought it was a reasonable performance. I'll give them a A- B+. Can't give them much higher than that because at the end of the day, they didn't get a crucial stop, and it's unfortunate. But to me, the biggest issue was this team just did not seem prepared. They're making too many mental mistakes, false starts at home, lining up offside on a field goal, dipsy doodle fumbling because you got your backup center hiking to your quarterback who then gets the ball knocked out of his hands by his guard. I mean, you could run that play 1,000 times again, and that wouldn't happen. Okay, then you've got, all right, you know what? The other team ran a safety blitz, and they got you. That's another turnover. You got an interception that, I'm not going to put it entirely on the quarterback. KJ had his hands on the ball. You can't let that get, swiped away from you.
Well, yeah, your halftime on your I don't know if it was YouTube short or whatever.
It was a short,
said,
yeah.
Yeah, KJ Osborne, you need to hold on the ball, right?
Yeah, you got to hold on to it. Now, I didn't know at the time that, he had double clutched, and then I did see it wasn't the all 22, but it was the behind view where, he takes the snap and, kind of double pumps, and then it ends up going behind the line.
Honestly, it looked like he was reading TJ Hawkinson and then looked slightly to his left and threw it to KJ. I mean, it looked like TJ Hawkinson was the first read.
Maybe not. But
yeah, I don't know.
It's 2nd and 3, and you're at the 10-yard line? If you're going to throw that pass, and I don't have an issue with being aggressive there. My issue is you've got to be right, and you've got to be on time with it. And if you are concerned with leading Osborne into the safety and getting him decapitated, then throw it a little low, because then when Osborne picks up on it, he'll know that he has to get down. Make it so that he has to make a tough diving catch to avoid getting hit. And if he doesn't make a catch, it's incomplete. Throwing it slightly behind him, again, I'm not putting it all on either one of them, but I am going to say that if you're gonna throw that, you got to be right, and unfortunately, he wasn't. Now, am I going to say that Kirk cost us the game? No. Am I going to say that Kirk doesn't deserve any criticism? No, I'm not going to say that either. He needs to, because you could tell when he went to the sidelines that he was there's a difference between being flustered and frustrated and pissed off at how it's gone, because second half of that game, he wasn't nearly as aggressive. And that's the one thing we've always said. You know what? Don't be afraid to take those chances. And if it doesn't go well,
help me out with that.
Reflect on it and then let it go.
Help me out with that. What particular plays on the second half did he not take chances? Just curious. Because there's 3 drives. There wasn't a lot of.
It was only 3 drives. So in fairness, yes, it was only 3 drives. but he appeared to be flustered because they did have some breakdowns in the offensive line earlier in the game. There were times where he would do the rollout where the tight end kind of chips blocks the end and then lets the end run at the quarterback. And
Mm-hmm.
the second that he would reverse pivot out, he'd have a guy 3 yards away from him. Okay, crap, I'm gonna get this ball to CJ Ham for a 1 yard gain when Justin Jefferson is literally right behind him in his line of vision for 15 yards. And he had time. It's not like the defender was barreling down on him. The
Was that in the
defender,
second half or the first half? Because I saw that in the first half.
I thought it was in the second half, but if it was in the first half,
I
either
saw
way.
2 plays where what you're describing is probably
Right.
was like a later progression. And he went with the first one kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. No,
But
there were. I know what you're
those
talking
are
about.
two.
Yeah.
Those 2 of the things I was looking at. Like, and both ended up with touchdown drives. So I'm like, I can't go like pick that play out, and we ended up scoring anyways. You know.
Fair.
So that was my complaints in the first 2 halves. The first
all I'm
half.
saying is that, yes, in the first half, he had that same play with TJ Hawkinson, and he hesitated because he was looking down the field. And by the time he didn't get anything that he wanted, he gave it to TJ for a 1 yard gain or a 1 yard loss. And they're like, well, if you had gotten that ball to Hawkinson earlier, he could have done something with it. But I don't have a problem with that because I'd rather him not just instantly take the tight end option immediately. But we had 11 drives, and 6 of them went 3 and out. And some of that's the defense, some of that's some of that's the O-line, some of that's the play calling, and some of that's the quarterback. It's all of them. What I said on Sunday was nobody is immune. I'm not listening to anybody say Kirk gets no blame. It was bad O-line and bad head coaching. Or the O-line doesn't get any blame. It's bad head coaching. It's all of them. So
yeah, it's pretty peanut butter.
It
was there was a poll I did, and it was pretty peanut butter spread on who they.
Yeah, I saw that. I couldn't believe it.
I even put Kirk Cousins and then 3 turnovers because I didn't want you to say I was being biased.
Yeah.
So I literally blamed him for all 3 turnovers in my tweet. But what was it? What was I looking at? Well, and then you didn't even bring it up about that strip sack. I'm like, one thing I noticed last year, and I probably his whole career, I don't know, but there some quarterbacks, not many, but some actually kind of help control the blocking, what the blocking scheme is going to be. I don't think Kirk is one of those. So I'm going to put that half on the line, half on Kirk, because one of the things is, and I don't know why, someone said they rushed more than we had blocking, but that's completely incorrect. We had 5 rushing and 6 blocking.
Here's what happened. They had 2 guys who were on the line at the snap drop into zone coverage. So they got accounted for at the snap of the ball because you have to assume that they were rushing. So yes.
Who was the second guy that was on the line because the end drop and they had 4-man front?
So they ran a doubles twist between the tackles and the ends, and one of the tackles actually fell out too. I think it was on the left because Darisaw and Bradbury, by the time the twisting and the dropping was done, that's how they got the free rush.
Bradbury was in at that time?
Excuse me, I'm not sure if Bradbury was in.
I think he got taken out after like play number 7 or something like that.
But all I'm saying is,
I watched the play like about 15, 20 times. So what I saw was the end, their right end, so on our left side, drop back in zone. Cleveland blocked his man. The guy over Ingram stunted to the middle. Schlottman picked him up. Ingram kept going with him. And that's when the linebacker blitzed. CJ Ham came up to block, did the right thing, most dangerous linebacker. And then that gave Winfield just free reign to come in.
Right.
So when I see that
play,
when I see that, it's when I see that overload like that, they gotta slide the line. Like that to fix that, Schlottman takes his guy. Ingram puts a hand on him, but gives him up, and then takes the linebacker blitz and freeing CJ Ham to block Winfield. I mean, I don't see why a quarterback some quarterbacks probably that have that in their repertoire where they're controlling that instead of giving it to the line to control it will probably point that out. So him not getting rid of that ball. Or not. If he didn't see Winfield, I don't know what he was doing. I think he did see Winfield, and then
No, he didn't. I'll tell
got
you
rid of
why.
that late.
I'll tell you why he didn't see him. If you watch that play one more time, Kirk takes the snap and he looks left the whole way. He never once looked right. He didn't take the snap, look left, look right just to check real quick and then pick up on what his reads were. And I get it. I don't know.
I think he saw him coming late. I think he saw him coming late because that's what I saw. But anyways, yeah. Either way, it's still bad.
It's still bad. Yes. I mean, again, I'm just going to leave it by saying this. I'm not listening to anybody that wants to put that entire game on Kirk Cousins, and I'm not listening to anybody that wants to say Kirk Cousins doesn't get his fair share of his portions of it, because that's what we do in this fan base is, there'll be a group that will exclusively blame Cousins, and there'll be a group that exclusively tries to shield every ounce of criticism or fault from him at all. And again, it would be reckless and foolish to say, oh, Kirk Cousins, he sucks. He's the reason we lost. I'm not. No. Now, it would also be foolish to say that, Kirk is beyond reproach. You can't blame Kirk for the Ingram thing. Well, okay, you can't. Can't blame him for the safety blitz. Can't blame him for the interception. KJ should have had it. That's all I'm saying is it's just a comedy of errors. And to me, again, it all goes back to the head coach. To me, the biggest flaw was the head coaching, the play calling again. The lack of preparedness.
Here's where I throw in for the head coach is Ingram's your right guard. Make the not tough decision, but hard because you're going to hurt the guy's feelings. No longer are you going to be our right guard. You go figure it out on the bench. If we get an injury, you're back in, and hopefully you've learned something by watching regular guys do it. I was impressed with Cleveland's pass blocking. Our run blocking as a whole wasn't that great.
No.
But hey, at least Cleveland pass blocked, and I was impressed with that. Even Schlottman was okay. I think he'd be part to blame because of that blocking scheme again on that safety blitz. But I but KOC not getting rid of Donaldson last year and the conservative play calling. I don't know if you remember, but I was constantly talking about conservative play calling. I was actually at the game, the last drive, and we started out, and I said, please, God, do not do a tight end screen right here. Don't fucking do it out loud as I could. Boom, tight end screen. Why did I think it was? Because TJ Hawkinson was lined up with his hand down at the end of the line on weak side. And I'm like, fucking tight end screen. And if I knew it from 300 feet in the air or wherever the hell I was in the 300 section, they knew it. And if it's if it's going to TJ Hawkinson, they know, and he's there, they're going to do that. So yeah, I was pissed. But, yeah, and then the play in the drive before that, we started out 2nd and 13. So I'm sick of starting out. I'm getting an echo. So I'm sick of starting out 2nd and 13 on game-winning drives, just like the frickin' second drive of the second to last drive against the Giants last year. Come on, man, give us a better chance than that. If you're worried about the line. I mean, we had big plays. We averaged 6 yards a play, man. They had averaged less than 3. San Francisco blew out their team, did the same thing with the same things. So yeah, I did a poll and 70% says game 1 we can fix this. So and that's where I'm at. The fact that our defense played as well as he did, and I actually give you probably a tick lower grade than you did because we missed 2 sacks. And Whitley. One play. But, hey, we stopped him on that drive. But the next one, Metellus, they go down and score. He could have sacked them. He pitches it out to the running back. He gets 9 yards on a little flip pass. Metellus played a really good game, but there's 2 plays in my head that stand out. Or 3 plays that stand out on Metellus. And otherwise, he played great. And this is something I expect. Evans burned him for a touchdown. Aggressive defense, we're going to get a mismatch, and Evans on Metellus was a mismatch. They took advantage and scored a touchdown. The other was he didn't get sack Mayfield when he had him dead to right, and it wasn't Jay Ward offsides, it's Metellus offsides, and he's the team captain, and Jay Ward was lined up slightly back from Metellus. They both could have been offsides, but you got Jay Ward at the end with his team captain to his left. So,
yeah,
school life. What's up, man? What's up? But hey,
shout out Sodak for the 1999 super chat. Dave will appreciate that.
Hey, I got something for you.
Great cash, homie.
I need the dollar. That's what I need. Well, I need the dollars.
All right. I appreciate it, that kid. Hey, it was nice meeting you. It was a blast.
Absolutely.
Blast meeting you, man.
All right, nephew, you got the wrench. So I don't want to hear about your wrench gang no more. All right, there you go. All right, so I think I can trust that this computer is working again. Thank you, everybody, for.
We got 40 in the house, guys. This might be our 2023 record. That's pretty good.
And even if it's not, we're going to say it is. So you guys were a part of Under the Lights history. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it here.
Oh, I think we had our first. I think when TJ, I don't know what we had when TJ Hawkinson trade happened, but
right,
that was pretty good. That was our first show, wasn't it?
It was either our first or our second.
Might have been the second.
What's up, crazy. Jade? How you doing? Everybody, shout out Sports and Start with Jade. It was great to meet you at Skullfest as well. That was a lot of fun. We should do that again sometime.
Seeing if I missed anybody.
Bandito's in the building. What's going on, Bandito? Welcome back to football season. You are absolutely correct. How about we start using 6 offensive line from time to time? Yeah, the problem is you telegraph yourself if you do that. Is you taking one extra pass catching option off the field. Well, I mean, technically, the 6th offensive lineman would be eligible, but you sure don't want to be throwing it to that guy.
I watched every play again. You replace Ed Ingram from that game, and you put Blake Brandel in there. It's a different story. That's how bad Ingram played. And you're not going to say like first game. He played in the preseason, remember, and he was bad in the preseason game. So he's honestly regressed to me. I was actually kind of a little defender of him last year because I was like, hey, first year player, he shined a little bit. He run blocked well. He did all this. He didn't do anything in these last 2 games. Well, there's a couple times he stonewalls people, but he's just a mess. They on that strip sack, that is them game planning against Ed Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
They stunted and blitzed straight into him, and then brought a guy off the edge. So a safety off the edge, 100% game planned, and there it's not like it happened earlier in the game too. But Kirk Cousins, guys coming straight at him, hitting him, he got it to TJ Hawkinson for a first down. It happened earlier in the game. So it's not like it was the first time he let someone through the line. What's up in the zone? What's going on? What's up?
Yeah, how about that's it. Hey, real quick, we got to do this one. Everybody stop for a second. Shout out Vegas KJ in the building for the first time. What's going on, Warrior Princess? We appreciate you. Regardless, we are simulcast. We each got a channel, so I don't know which one you're on. Doesn't matter. If you could go to the other, we'll put the links up in there for you. So if you like the show, hit the subscribe button on both Minnesota Sports Talk as well as Purple and Gold for Days. Everybody shout out Vegas KJ. We got a new intro. A new challenger has entered the building, as the old Street Fighter line would be when somebody else came in for the first time. But that's what we do, Vegas. We shout you out when you put a comment in, and we give you a double shout out when it's your first time. So thank you so much for joining us. Wish it would have been under better circumstances. Wishes we were 1-0 instead of 0-1, but that's all right.
Look at this, Joe Buck.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
You need to print that out and frame it, man. Oh my God, Joe Buck signed a card. Is this like really happening like right now? You actually got the mail right now?
Yeah.
You're opening it up. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
That is awesome, man.
Oh, see, now see, I'm sorry. Jade's got it going on. I got it. Yeah, if you're on a laptop, open it up on both tabs and let's get us up to 60. That way we can tell ourselves we had 60 people in the building, even if we only had 40. But I digress. We just kidding. If you'd like to, that'd be great. But whatever. Thank you, Vegas. We do appreciate you. And feel free to feel free to leave comments on our videos. We each do a couple of live shows a week. We also do some sporadic short form episodes as well. But feel free to leave comments, whether you agree or disagree. We always respond to them. We very much do appreciate you. What I was going to say to JJ is you got to put that picture up, you got to frame it, and then you got to put a picture of Randy Moss doing the moon right next to it. That's what you gotta do. That's what you
I'm sure he knows about that.
Well, let's think about.
I guess there's some positive things. Couple shout outs, man. Cameron Bynum, played very well, man. Again, I was a little harsh on Metellus, but I thought he played great. But when I go back through the whole video and I see those three things, those were game changers, right? But I'm not going to give Evans in the mismatch a whole lot. That's going to happen with this defense,
right?
But him not tackling, not bringing down Baker Mayfield cost us a long drive and a score again. I think that was a go-ahead field goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think part of it is, I don't know, maybe they felt that they were hamstrung because of these rules with if you hit the quarterback too late, they were afraid of something. I don't know. One guy, who was the guy number 51?
Oh, Whitley went high, though.
Whitley, yeah. I was just going to say, that one was inexcusable. That one was just
but hey, he threw the ball away, and they didn't, and that drive stalled. The Metellus miss was a little more, but I was pretty happy with Murphy and Evans out there. They didn't get the greatest scores, but they were facing some couple of really good receivers. But I felt pretty good about that. And Harrison Phillips, man, I thought he had I thought he had a hell of a game. I need to go back and look at our offensive line or defensive line, but Jones got like a 28 PFF grade. I don't know. I would have to go back and look at that. But I think is Pace and Hicks. I know people are down on Pace, not making that last play. He hesitated, maybe thinking he's going to slide. I don't know. Or he thought he overran the angle or whatever. But overall, nice game.
Oh, he led the team in solo tackles. He was all over the place.
That was like third quarter. I was like, I bet Pace got leading us in tackles right now. I didn't go look, but now what's weird is after the game, Kevin O'Connell, and I've been in a situation. I'm on a high school basketball team, and one of the starters sat the entire second half, and the coach at the end of the game, he looks down. Oh my God, I forgot to put you back in. I'm like, that's what I thought would happen to Asamoah. Because Kevin O'Connell says, I got to go back and look at the tape. If it's 2 snaps, it's 2 snaps. But we were feeling good about mixing those 3 in there. Well, they only gave out 2 snaps.
Yeah, that I didn't quite understand that one. But
give that kid some time, man. Get him in there. That didn't make sense. Because I think he's a pretty decent. He's probably out of the 3, probably expect to be the best pass coverage guy.
Shout out Kofi in the building. What's going on, Kofi? We see you. Got to get you shouted out. Did I get there was one earlier. Hold on just a second. Sorry to cut you off. We know we did. We got
Oh no, you're fine.
We got to do
yeah, there was and then I'm again another down thing on KOC. I don't think he's fit. He's not fixed this run game. And we were that our last touchdown when we scored. Prior to that, the first play at the goal line after the interference penalty, we're basically pulling 2 guys and going to the left side, and we literally Ingram pulls, leaving Vita Vea free reign to the running back.
Yeah,
and he gets him for 3 yards. Why are we not blocking that guy on a goal line play?
That again is terrible play calling.
I'm like, what the hell was that?
You have to understand your team, your strengths, your weaknesses, and you need to understand your opponent's strengths and weaknesses. One of the things I said in my pregame podcast over on Vikings First and Skull, and subscribe to their YouTube page and subscribe to their podcast feed if you don't already, ladies and gentlemen, was there needs to be 4 hands on Vita Vea at all times. The center and whichever guard he is lined up over, and you run the rest of your scheme from there. Don't let this guy beat you. How in the heck are you going to say, hey, I got a pulling guard on this play and Vita's on that side? Kirk needed to check to the opposite, or he just needed to check out of that play, whatever. But that's the one thing that drives me crazy. It's just like, okay, feel empowered. You say we say Kirk is empowered now. You cannot run a pulling guard trap play when Vita Vela is on the side of the guard that's going to be pulling. That's just suicide.
My only thought on that play is no one their sane mind would design that. But so I think someone had to not do their job. That's my only, that I had to think that. I cannot think KOC said, hey, that's a great play design. I just cannot fathom that. So
hey, let me go
he's got to figure something out. This was normally a good run blocking offensive line. Yeah. They pass blocked, except for Ingram, who did both terribly. Pass block better than they ran block this game. Shout out to Brian O'Neill. Looks fully recovered.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to him.
Amazing. I'm on the Josh Oliver train. That is going to be a deceptive guy. And I think we used him right because they're not looking for him to go out. They'll run the tight end screen to him. They don't expect him to get it.
No, don't run it ever again. We'll get back to that bullshit in a second. Shout out Vaughn in the building. I'm sorry, I'm 7 minutes late, Vaughn. I saw you earlier, and then I had to scroll, but I found you, Vaughn. Thanks again for joining us this evening. D. Will is in the building. What's going on, D. Will? Ain't seen you for a minute, but good to see you here tonight as well. I thought I saw one more, and y'all know how
in the house.
Did we get Reggie? You know what, Reggie? I'm gonna shout you out whether we got you earlier or not.
Did, and then that's why I didn't say anything. Sorry, Reggie.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we did or not, but we gonna get you, Reggie. And I got Kofi. I know not that much, and I know I got this one, and we got that one. Yeah, see, this is what we do. We gonna make. Did you get Skull TYA? Did you get Skull TYA?
No, I didn't.
Early? All right,
Skull
shout out
what's
Skull
up,
TYA.
Man?
Hey, Skull TYA is gonna do some contributing to Yogi's channel. So if y'all don't subscribe to Yogi on Purple Rain 247. You're going to see our boy Skull TYA throwing down some content there as well. So I think I'm caught up. I don't know if you said it or not, but I always got to get Drop Shot Jake. His
we got. Well, you were out.
Oh, was that when I was out? Okay.
Yeah, you were fixing stuff, but Drop Shot. He tweeted at me today.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Good or bad?
There was a Lions fan that says this is why we hate Viking fans, and it said something like Jameson Williams got like eight after 18 games, he's got like 30 yards, and Jordan Addison after one's got 60, and he goes, that stat's a lie. He only played 6, and I'm like, I don't
matter.
I was like, I don't think the Lions are going to make it feel any better that they have that it's 6 and not 18, considering he still has less yards than Jordan Addison. But he agreed with me. But yeah, that was from a Lions fan. So I think they're feeling it that they drafted the guy. And honestly, he was one of my 3 guys I wanted at the 12th. Was it the 12th spot?
Yeah, it was the 12th spot. Yeah,
that was one of my 3 guys. And thank God, I feel thank God right there.
I got a shout out to nephew here. Dang, the fries at Skullfest and the pizza at the hotel were awesome. I don't know about the pizza at the hotel, but I can dang sure tell you them fries at the Northeast Palace were outstanding.
Were they? I didn't eat anything there.
Hey, listen, my fat ass had an order of chicken strips and fries for dinner, and then I ordered some fries for my trip home. They were that good, and I had some left over, and I heated them up the next day, and my daughter's like, where'd you get these fries? I'm like, oh, the place in Minneapolis. So no, we ain't getting any more today. I digress. I just saw JJ had the fries comment up there, so I had to address it. I just had to. We miss you too, nephew.
Pretty damn good fries, it sounds like.
Yes. We might not. I don't know when the next time we'll be in there, but we gonna get back in there if nothing else. Just for that. But all right, yeah. We briefly mentioned it earlier. Let's get to A-Raj for a minute, because I don't want to. I'll get too worked up if we go back to the tight end screen conversation. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm just absolutely.
You know what? There were some screens that actually worked during that game. The Ty Chandler one were great. That was to a running back, a fast one, and there was separation. Now, honestly, some of this screenplay. Kirk maybe needs to wait a second or two, maybe not. Maybe it's just terrible
and that
play.
That gets back to what I was saying earlier. You wanted me a specific example. Those last couple tight end screens, they felt rushed. And the dump offs to CJ Ham, they felt rushed. First of all, again, stop running
rolling
the
your
damn play.
left, though, that's the hard part. Rolling to your
Again,
left like that.
all I'm saying is this: stop running that play. Stop running that play. Don't bring it back for at least 2 months. And that's only after you show us that the offensive line is capable of selling. That's the thing about a screen. You have to be able to sell it. These offensive linemen, particularly on the interior, they're not good enough to sell it right now. Anyway, I digress. Shout out to Andrew K. I hope not. I don't know what you're hoping not against, but it's the first time I've seen you, so I'm going to shout you out. Thank you so kindly for joining us. And let's just hit the reset button. Oh, before I hit the reset button, we got Maverick in the building. Good to see you, Maverick. Good to see you. And it was great to meet you this weekend.
Maverick. I forget you're the Spider-Man guy.
The Spider-Man guy, yes. The first time I saw him, he was like right in front of me. I'm like, and he had his hat on.
And it's weird because I actually was on a show with him twice.
Yeah, I
was on a show with him like at least twice. And I was like,
it's funny. I was just over on his channel a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it!" At that point, I think I was about 5 or 6 years into it. But anyway,
I got a couple quick shout outs.
Yeah, let's get them, and then we'll go back to Rogers.
Yeah, David Bullock entered the contest. All he had to do was email me to the email below, mnsportspodcast@gmail.com, and the Artery Tattoo Company entered the contest. They rang the bell and sent me an image. So if you guys want to be 5 entries into this drawing, you email me a screenshot of you ringing the bell of both of our channels, and you're good to go. I appreciate it.
There you go. And also, we'll reset here. Hit them like buttons, and if you could, regardless of which channel you're watching on, after the show is over, if you could go to the other channel and just simply hit the like button on that so it gets pushed out throughout the rest of the evening.
Guys, thank you so much.
Yes. And if you haven't already subscribed, it's Minnesota Sports Talk for him, purple and gold for days for me. And again, this is just week 1. We're going to be doing this all throughout the year, both the lives, all throughout the week. I've got a pregame show, a postgame show with rap. Dave's going to have watch parties. All kinds of good Vikings content. Shout out Zach in the building. What's going on, Zach? I see you, Zach. If I can push this button right. There we go.
46 in the house was the most I saw right there. So it's awesome. We got 48.
48. Keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen. Keep them coming.
That's awesome. Thanks,
guys.
I
agree with Buddy Eagle Smingle. 86, the tight end screen. Just be done with it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think everybody will agree with that. And it's funny. I felt like last year I was like the only one, but I know everybody else was too, but it felt like I was the only one that was noticing these awful tight end screens. Because TJ Hawkinson, first game of the year, he had, I don't know, like 70 yards for 9 catches or whatever it was. And he would have had 9 more yards, except for 3 of those catches were tight end screens that went for -3. Right. All 3 of them. That's killed me.
Hey, did you shout out the doctor, the house call?
Yeah. Earlier, yeah.
All right,
feel free, man. Don't worry.
I'm sure they won't mind. Anybody who hasn't been shouted out, put a new comment again and just say, "Yo, you missed me." Even if you weren't missed, go ahead and put that in there. I'll shout you out again, regardless. I'll do that regardless. Okay.
And ring the bell.
And ring the bell. Yes. This is what I love, T-Bass. You know, I first saw T-Bass on One Bar and Lupagus, and I wasn't sure if that was just, hey, when in Rome, because we all know how fun it gets over there. But that's just why I love having T-Bass in here. Wipe your ass with the tight end screens. You damn skippy T-Bass. You are for dang. That's the comment of the night so far. So we don't have any prizes to give away for the comment.
Oh, that's a good thought in the future.
We'll do that
I had thought about that.
I've been thinking about that for the last 9 months. I'm going to do comment of the night.
I talked to Gigi's about giving out game ball of the comment of the night.
Yeah.
So we may be able to do that here. So
all right, for real now. We're gonna stay on topic for real. Aaron Rodgers. First off, regardless, nobody's cheering for injuries. There it is, Raymond. Time to retire. That is most unfortunate that the Green Bay Packers needed Aaron Rodgers to play 65-70% of the snaps to upgrade that second-round pick next year to a first-round pick. That absolutely will not happen. Jokes aside, regardless of the fact that we hated him for so long because he played for our rivals, speedy recovery to you, Aaron. And if you retire, really it was a great career.
It's really weird. I thought Aaron Rodgers was like a miserable person, right? And it turns out I think it was just Green Bay. Because he seemed like a totally different person with the Jets, and I didn't watch any of the HBO's, whatever Hard Knocks, but he was showing leadership ability. I seen in clips, and comes out with that American flag, and he was putting himself out there. He wanted to be part of New York. He didn't want to be part of Green Bay, it seemed. So it was weird that I've totally like, I did that with Favre. Is like he's moved on. I forgot about him. I hate Green Bay. Now the only person that my hate has followed is Denver's head coach, Sean Payton.
Oh, Sean Payton.
Only person where my hate has actually followed him.
Well,
but he wasn't a Packer, so
here's the thing: when Favre went to New York, I still cheered against him. Period. End of discussion. Because again, those were my high school years when he was in his prime, winning Super Bowls with Mike Holmgren, Reggie White, Leroy Butler, and bringing the Packers out of their 30-year walkabout the wilderness. But there were still so many people that loved Brett that there weren't as many people that loved Aaron when he left. And then Aaron takes a pay cut to try to get some more players in New York, saying, you know what, I'll give up $35 million. I'm just so happy to be out of Green Bay. So at the end of the day,
it warmed me up to him the way he stuck it to Green Bay.
Exactly. I was not going to be pulling for him. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I was just
I didn't want the Jets to make the playoffs. I didn't want the Jets to make the playoffs, but I didn't want him to get hurt.
4 plays into the season. That does kind of suck. I mean, we wish him a speedy recovery. At this point, any possibility of him following in Favre's footsteps and coming to Minnesota? No, I don't want a guy who's 40 years old coming off of an Achilles. I have zero interest, so let's not even talk about that. Shout out to Skull TYA following up on the T-Bass. Does T-Bass have his shirt?
Janik posts that.
That is hilarious. But I do like this one from T-Bass. Speaking of the Jets, anybody who was complaining about getting rid of Dalvin Cook, see his stat line last night? Can we put to bed this ridiculous notion that it was a mistake getting rid of Dalvin Cook? Can we put that to bed? Pretty please, Dave, what say you?
Oh, yeah. I was going to bring that up. I was going to say his stats. It's like 13 for like 33 yards or something like that.
Oh,
and
gosh.
Thielen had 2 for 12. Yards, and who else? Kendricks had like 2 tackles or something like that. So yeah, I was off on that. I thought Kendricks would make an impact, but
no, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to step on your touchdown, but I should stop doing this. T-Bass just cleared his own line of the night with a new line of the night. What's the worst thing about a busload of Packer fans going off a cliff? There were 2 empty seats. T-Bass off of the top rope. Oh my gosh. All right, I gotta stay focused, T-Bass. I can't be laughing this much. Shout out to Newt in the building. What's going on, Newt? Justin, you're one of my favorite Vikings. I appreciate you that is not afraid to challenge the moves from these owners. You see this team clearly. Thank you so much. I had somebody the other day say, oh, you think you know? I'm like, no, I'm just speculating, but I appreciate you. Shout out Mateo's in the building. I don't know if you got Mateo earlier or not.
I know, this was new.
All right, shout out Mateo's in the building. I hate Sean Payton and Bill Belichick more than Sharon Rodgers. Oh, well. All right, so there you go.
Rodgers.
My guy Mateo, I appreciate you. Shout out to Lester Looms. I don't think did I miss Lester when I was indisposed?
No.
Shout out Lester in the building. What's going on? I believe that we will be presently surprised with Alexander Madison. Oh, absolutely. Listen. The offensive line did not give him a whole lot to work with. And KOC did not give him a lot to work with. 11 carries for Alexander Madison. Listen, I understand wanting to be a pass-happy offense or a pass-first offense, but you got to lather up your running backs a little bit. But Dalvin Cook would not have scored a touchdown on that pass the way Alexander Madison did. Dalvin Cook would have got tackled at the 2-yard line. So, no, I'm not worried about Alexander Madison. I'm a little concerned about the run blocking, but I think we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
I was gonna bring that up when I talked about that we getting stuffed at the line, because then Alexander Madison made an awesome just individual effort play.
Mm-hmm.
And that was honestly before that play, he threw it into the corner trying to get it to Madison over the top.
Right.
KJ Osborne was streaking late.
Oh, I know.
Crossed. Yeah. And that was one of the 2 plays I was talking about, but we ended up scoring anyways. But thanks to Alexander Madison and just freaking individual effort on every play, he fell forward because our blocking was horrible, absolutely horrible. But yeah, Alexander Madison looked like he's gonna be fine to me, and I think the coaches said it too after the game. I think Alexander Matt. And one guy asked him, like, are these people think you're gonna not be able to run now?
Yeah, whatever.
After you got rid of Cook? No, I think Alexander Madison had a heck of a game.
So for a split second, we had 50 in the building, but it dropped right back.
49.
Yeah, we're not. Shout out Mr. McFadden. I swear to God, we better throw the freaking ball to JJ in the red zone. If not for T-Bass, that would be a candidate for line of the night. I am so sick and tired. I don't understand it. Is it me? Apparently not, because Mr. McFadden agrees. It seems like once we get inside the 10-yard line, we do not target Justin Jefferson as much, that we're always handing the ball off. We're trying to get it to the tight ends. We're trying to get in. I get it. Teams are going to focus on him. But am I missing something? I mean, it doesn't seem like we've gotten a lot of I don't know about red zone throws to JJ. I think, like, if they're at the, like, I think it's once it's goal to go, they don't throw to him very much. I mean,
well, you remember that play last year where he did the
yes,
that was more of that shit. I need more of that
right
shit
in front of me. Yeah,
we don't do fades to him. It doesn't look like, you know.
We don't. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts.
You know what I don't see a lot is
51. Here we go.
51. Sorry. Here we go. Here we go.
It.
I got you guys are subbing to us too. I see that too. That's great. Hey, the trail, you know, the trail slants, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then they have a guy just stop, right? So you can either hit the first slant, the last slant, or the tight end doing a hook. I never see that play with us, and it seems to work for everybody else, but not us. But we don't run it ever.
No, I totally
I would
agree.
love to see Justin Jefferson on that play on the back, the outside.
We just need more from him. Period.
Trail slant.
We need to get him in the end zone. He was so pissed at himself that he got tripped by Winfield.
Oh, God.
He was even more pissed when that drive ended in that interception. I know everybody saw him just decapitate the guy who took the ball from KJ. He made a beeline like a heat-seeking missile at that guy. I was just like, dang, I've never seen him that upset. Shout out Two-Tone Tony. What's up?
53.
Two-Tone Tony in the building.
Can we get to 60?
Can we get to 60? And by the way, for
everybody, quick share this show. We'll get to 60.
Jets, we're lucky to not get flagged on that kick. I saw it as it happened. I was like, that's a trip. Oh, they're not going to call that. They're not going to take that touchdown off the board. An overtime punt return touchdown. They're not going to call that. They're not going to call that.
Punt return.
Shout out Sculpture Soup in the building. Thanks for joining us as always.
Soup.
Good to meet you there as well. And there was one.
There's no soup like Sculpture Soup.
There ain't no soup. And by the way, speaking of good dudes, Yogi is in the building. Everybody sub up here.
Everybody's favorite Yogi.
Yes, everybody's favorite Yogi. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is Reisner signed yet? No, Kofi, and he won't be. Here's what I'll say about Dalton Reisner. Here's what I'm going to say about Dalton Reisner. If Dalton Reisner is not signed by Saturday, it's not going to happen because they're not going to sign him before the Philly game at this point, obviously. And once the game is over, they're either going to sign him Friday or Saturday to get him in the building as quick as possible during the mini bye week to pick up on as much stuff as they can. If it gets past Saturday, they're not going to do it because they're not going to waste a day or two of time that they could be working with him. So, but I don't think it's going to happen at this point. And at this point, I'm kind of pissed off about it, but what else am I going to do? Shout out Gerber714. What on earth are we going to do about this interior? Ingram has to go. You are preaching to the choir. We've been saying it all night. I've been saying it since June to get Dalton Reisner in the building. I know he's not as good a run blocker as either Ingram or Cleveland, but he's a better pass blocker. And at this point, I don't know why. I don't understand. It's like, if you're going to re-sign Danielle Hunter and you're going to bring in Brian Flores because you're not going to go into, take a step back mode, we're going to try to compete. Well, then fix your one problem on offense. I've been saying it for months.
You give me 2 or 3 more games of Cleveland playing like he did, pass blocking. This last game, I might warm up to extending him. I might do it.
KOC's Mario. He runs it like a video game. Hey, just hit a quick recap here. Hit them like buttons if you didn't. We say wipe your feet at the door like you're at a guest house. That's all we ask. And a reminder that we are on 2 channels here. We do this simulcast every Tuesday night. I am Justin with Purple and Gold for Days. He is Dave with Minnesota Sports Talk. So regardless of which channel you are on, if you do not subscribe to both channels, hit that sub button. Let's get those numbers up. What's up, sports? Shout out Sports Heaven in the building.
And we simulcast on my Twitter and Facebook, so I know I've gotten a few views, from Facebook, so I appreciate you guys too.
He absolutely did obliterate that. And yes, if you're watching on the Facebook page, we appreciate you. We appreciate y'all regardless of where it is. Regardless. We got 50 people in the building. I've never had that before. Well, no, I did
consistency.
once. Well, I take that back. There was that one night we had 100 when we had 7 channels. That was draft night,
Yeah.
but I digress.
We're trying to do that tomorrow, guys. Oh, by the way, tonight School Live is not happening. Fortunately, honestly, for Rap, he took the $1,000 vouchers for him and his wife, and stayed one more day in Minnesota. And don't try to rob them. They're vouchers. You can't use them. Only you can. So
Yes. Whoever that was that tried to play SK bogus, don't even try that with Rap, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so he got home late. He's gonna put his video together of the trip. It should be fantastic. So we're not doing School Live tonight, so it means we can hang out a little longer at this show. But tomorrow we're gonna try to do a Skullfest recap show with several of us on the Skull Experience on this channel and GG Sports at 6:30 Central Time, so 7:30 Eastern. Check it out.
I thought he said they were going to move it to 8.
Or 8. I don't know. I wasn't
Tell
looking
you
at the
what,
tweet.
tomorrow night.
Well, look for it. It'll be scheduled.
Look for it.
And JJ's going to be on.
Okay.
Potentially. He says I'll try to make it. He's a big shot now. Just kidding. No.
I get Prime so I can watch the game. Even if you don't get Prime, isn't it broadcast locally? Well, not everybody's local. I'm sorry, Mary.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
I got Prime too. I just got to figure out. I don't know if I put it on this computer, but I'm going to have a half an hour pregame show. Looks like with Johnny Football. I'm trying to get Janik from Twitter on here, but yeah, so we're going to do a show before the game, and then I'm going to stream live so you can watch it with me, and then we'll hang out and talk about it afterwards. Talk about the victory afterwards.
Hopefully. All right, well, let's
are we not let's talk about Philly a little bit.
All right,
they didn't play that well. I was watching the end of that game, and there was 2 chances that the Patriots could have went down and scored, and they didn't do it. So you would have not thought that the Patriots would have had an opportunity to win that game at the end of the game.
That's true. That's true. Shout out Sarah in the building. What's going on? See y'all Thursday. Absolutely. All right, so let's just bust this wide open here. As we all say, when one of us wins, we all win. We don't compete with each other. I will be doing my pregame. So come on over to Dave's pregame, then come on over to my pregame, and then come back to Dave's channel and watch him do the stream throughout the night.
Most of the people watching are watching on your channel anyways, so it's fine. I'm not I'm trying to get new. I'm just happy whoever shows up. If you usually watch Justin's, that's awesome. If you want to come over to mine, that's great. But it's
aren't you doing yours at like 5:30?
I'm doing it a half an hour before the game.
Oh, all right. I thought it was like
it says 7 Eastern, so I started at 6:30. So that should be 5:30 your time. That's when it said the game was. Isn't that not it?
I must have read it. We'll figure it out later. Bottom line is, come back to us on Thursday.
So that is 5:30 your time, I guess.
All right, we'll figure it out.
I'll double check.
We'll figure it out. Either way.
I looked it up. It said 7 Eastern. I don't know. What the hell? It seemed early to me, but
yeah, that seemed weird. But we'll figure that out. But in all seriousness, let's get back to what were we talking about? Oh, yes.
The
game.
The
actual game.
Having a slump.
I'll say it like this. The Vikings, if they're going to pull this off, they have to not be soft. They cannot get punched in the face and lie down. They got punched in the face last year. Granted, we did have the Irv Smith drop touchdown, which maybe might have made a difference. We don't know. Just like we don't know if Christian Watson hadn't dropped his touchdown pass in week 1 last year, if that would have made a difference. What we need to do, shout out Sarah in the building. What's going on, Sarah? Good to see you.
Thanks for the shirt, Sarah. It was
absolutely.
a big hit. I got so many compliments for that
and we got all kinds of signatures. We all sign each other's shirts like we're big time or something. But in all seriousness,
I'm referring to the Kirkstand shirt, though.
Well, yes. Well, there's that. I'm surprised.
Hey, someone, I got I had a personalized one from Sarah.
That's true. But and I hope put it in the comments. How's your sister doing? I hope your sister is doing better. But the Vikings have to at some point not get bullied, and they've gotten bullied by Dallas. They got bullied by the Giants. They survived the first Giants game, and they lost the second Giants game. They got bullied by Dallas. They kind of got bullied by Green Bay and Detroit the last half of the season, and they got bullied by Philly in week 2 last year.
At some point, stop getting your nose broken by the bully. Punch the bully first. Get in the end zone 2 out of the first 3 possessions and force Jalen Hurts to say, all right, cool. Now I'm going to punch you back. That's fine. But at the same time, I'm sick and tired of getting out physicaled by those 4 teams. They out physicaled us all last year. And those were all of the losses we had last year were teams that out physicaled us. Yeah, Washington was a physical team and it was a dogfight and we won in the end. Buffalo was a physical team, dogfight, won at the end. But these other teams that just bullied us from the get-go, we had no shot. This game could get ugly. As Zoe said, Bradbury not playing. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure.
I was a little optimistic about Schlottman, how he played. I'm not Bradbury. I figured he was gonna be out, but the way Schlottman played, I don't think he was far off the one way Bradbury played.
Right.
So which is a surprise because I was really critical of him in preseason.
So all I'm saying is this: at some point, stop getting your butts handed to you. Take it to them for a change. For a change, take it to them. Get out early and often, and then let your defense play aggressive, play physical, and because as I forget who just put it in the comments because there's so many of them coming in. Oh, here it is from Raymond. Everything has to be almost perfect. Then, yeah. You know what? Yeah. We're going to have to force them to make mistakes. Kind of like Tampa Bay. Things didn't go perfect for them in the first half. They had a whole bunch of 3 and outs before they finally got that 1 touchdown drive. They're going to have to play almost a perfect game.
Here's what I think. Like, if we played the same way, minus the turnovers and the way Philly played, we might eke that game out.
Yeah, but if we
eliminate the turnovers, because I felt like you even said at halftime, we were dominating that game in the first half.
Yeah.
It was like crazy dominating. And that's a good defense, right? So I'm like, Eagles got a good defense, but now we're going to be missing 2 players.
I'll say this. If we're going to say that's a difficult ask, though. We can't say, well, hopefully the Vikings can correct their mistakes and play better.
But it's on the road. So.
But then hope that Philly's going to try to correct their mistakes too. So, and as you said, it's on the road. Now, I'm glad that the NFL didn't schedule Philly a home game in week 1. They at least had to go to New England. Not that that's all that far from Philly to New England. But having said that, you got to bring all the equipment. It's going to be pack a lunch. And to your point earlier,
and it was late. It was late too. It was a afternoon game,
right?
Yeah, it was after us.
Yes,
it
wasn't
us.
after. You're right. It was. I agree with T-Bass. Carter's going to be scary with our interior. You're right. KOC, at some point, you might have to just bite the bullet. And I've said this. I will give a partial benefit of the doubt to Ed Ingram because he was drafted and he was not ready to be a starter. He needed time to develop. And the Vikings shoved him out there because they had no better options. Now, at some point, the statute of limitations on that runs out where we can't talk about, oh, well, this guy wasn't ready and he needs time. At some point, if he doesn't get it, if he doesn't pick up on it with the playing time, then sit his ass on the bench, let him develop, and let him come back as the starter next year. But for right now, yeah, he needs to be better or he needs to be replaced. I agree with you on that. I agree.
Yeah, he's like, even after he's saying he played good, so his self-awareness was like non-existent on how bad he played in that game.
Oh, did you see me yesterday when I put that up there on the first the Purple and Skull page?
No,
I put it. I went and found that tweet, and we played that during our show. That 11 seconds when he was asked, "Oh, I thought I did good. I thought I did okay. You know, just one little small hiccup. Get out of here with that,
dude, man. You were terrible." And I'm like, I would feel better if he would recognize that and said, God, I got some things to work on, or we're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to make sure, I'm going to be, got all my keys and, whatever. I would just something that shows that you acknowledge how bad you played.
Right.
If Brian O'Neill played bad, I feel like he would say he played bad.
Yeah, he would say, hey,
I can get better. I feel like everybody on that line would say whether or not they played bad, but he is oblivious, absolutely oblivious to his just how bad he's playing. And it works in college, but man, you have more response. It's a lot more. It's tougher to play in the NFL. They trick you constantly, and they obviously do to you every play.
Hey, you don't need to apologize, Gerber. It's all good. It's all good. We understand that, people got lives if it's a 4-hour drive. I mean, I had an hour and a half drive. So trust me, I know how much that was, particularly when I had to drive back the same night. So it ain't no thing, man. We just hope you get to join us next time. So not a problem at all.
Yeah, we're next year. Be prepared. Put a little.
And we'll have it. We're now that we've done this once. This was our test run too. Now that we know that people actually finna show up, we'll do better about planning it. I can definitively say that it's a 98% chance that it will be at the Vikings home opener, whether that's week 1, week 2, it shouldn't be any fewer than week 3. But whatever the first Vikings home game, we do it on that weekend. But shout out to Evil in the and what's going on to Evil.
Straight cash, homie.
I need a dollar, that's what I need. Hey, hey. Well, I need a dollar, that's what I need.
Cut that up. Got a serious one here. Real quick, I did ask. She's still in the hospital.
Actually, put that up already.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry.
You actually took it down.
Oh, I didn't. That's the only problem with us both having it is if he clicks right before I do. Or
Sarah, I put that up earlier, and
sorry,
we hope she's better, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep us updated. Did you get in touch with Rap? Because he had an envelope for you. Did you get in touch with Rap? Because he said he was trying to get in touch with you Sunday night. So let us know, and I'll figure that out from him as well as we have to. But oh yeah, here's what he said. He said a few minor mistakes and that he played a good game. A few minor mistakes. Strip sack of your own quarterback. If you want to play defensive line that bad, just tell the coaches.
How hard?
I want to play D line.
It's
so I
not hard.
Oh my!
It's not hard to not knock out the ball from your quarterback's hands. It is not hard.
It shouldn't be that hard. Two-tone Tony spot on. Don't forget JJ in the third, fourth. Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. 2 targets in the second half. Again, is that play calling? Is that the quarterback? I don't know. All I know is that's unacceptable.
And then the third down play. This I was going to bring up earlier. The last throw that to I think it was the second to last drive. Throw to KJ Osborne was over his head. He touched his hands, but it was over his head. He was coming back to the ball. He sailed it high. Would have been a first down.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't seem like he is in sync with KJ as much as he's in sync with Addison. Because even on that last play that our last offensive play, that was a dime to Addison on the out route, but that defender just stuck with him and made the play. Like, I don't think you could throw it any more outside with him being able to still catch it. And it was going to his hands, like stretched out, and that guy just came in and knocked it away. But he looks more in tune with Addison than he does with KJ, at least in that game. Because there was the play in the end zone, we had to kick a field goal. Kirk was yelling, and so was KJ about interference. I don't think there was a whole lot of it.
No,
but again, outstretched hands, touches the ball, no catch.
No,
there was a short earlier in the game, another third down play. He throws it low. KJ goes down to get it. We're a half yard short of the first down. We punt. That's another thing. I think we should have went for that fourth down, and I think we should have went for the fourth down at the end of the game with 4 minutes left. Because if we don't get it, we trust our defense to hold them to the field goal. Then we still have a chance to win with a touchdown. So I think we should have went on both those fourth downs. That's my opinion on that.
Shout out to Ryan in the building. What's going on, Ryan? Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate them. Hit them like buttons, and whichever channel you're watching on, hit the like button on the other one. Sub to my boy Dave here as well if you haven't done so already. Absolutely no problem at all. Like I said, hit me up anytime. It's okay. We're going to do this on a yearly basis, but you know what? Brad Williams, not going to score for Brad Williams ain't, okay, that ain't no consolation prize. Now, if I had to choose, I'd have probably chose Brad Williams there too. But thanks so much for joining.
I'm Googling who Brad Williams is.
You don't know who Brad. Are you serious, dude? Okay.
Is he famous? Brad Williams.
I'll let you.
Comedian. Okay. Oh, the little person.
Yeah, that guy.
I didn't know his name. I just know him from my clips on Twitter.
Right. It's all right. It is. I agree with Zach. It is ridiculous that we took Jeff Gladley and not Antoine Winfield Jr., but water over the bridge, under the dam, whatever you want to call it. But to your point, yeah, here's what I wanted to say. Yes, we can't talk about Kevin O'Connell or the offensive line on that pass to the airmail to KJ. That was on Kirk. I'm sorry, it just was. Now, this is what
Who you
Rap told me.
apologizing to?
No, nobody. I'm saying in the general sense. Rap did say this on that last third down out pattern to Jordan Addison. Now, Jordan's got to run a little bit of a crisper route, so I'm gonna give part of that to Jordan.
I didn't. You know why I didn't really look? You know, but
he did. I said it right.
The guy
I
caught
said it right
up
when
to
it
him.
happened. I'm like, dude, you got to help your quarterback out there. But what Rap told me was that on that same play, that Justin Jefferson was clear and that he was on the same side as Addison. So it's not like Kirk was like, oh, I didn't look the other way. Did you recall that play at all? And I mean, again, Justin Jefferson's open on every play, but
I'll have to look at it again.
All right, you look at that and you tell me what you think. You probably got him early. You got Worthless early. Well, I don't care. Single greatest Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, MySpace, TikTok handle of all time, because your opinion is rarely worthless. Worthless. I had somebody ask me last night if you actually went to the game or not. I don't know if they're here right now, but you were to the game the other day, didn't you, Worthless? Let us know. Anyway, I digress.
I actually did a short with him.
That's right. Oh yeah, I don't know. Somebody. I don't know
2,000 views, man. I think that's my record for dad jokes. We should pull.
All right, moving on. Doctor, let's hope Kwesi and KOC can get a quarterbacks. Well, yeah, that's true. Who supposedly? Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm not getting into that mode yet. I'm staying in season mode. We'll have plenty of time after the fact. What's up, Barber? Scope for Life. Barber 1975. I don't know if he was in here earlier, but I know I didn't shout you out, so I'll shout you out right now, regardless. Yeah, okay, fair enough. With O'Neal restructure, any chance they bring in somebody? Here's the deal. That restructure was done on Saturday because those moves had to be made by Saturday in order for it to officially 100% count against this cap. I know it was not announced till today. I think that they were trying to do that in preparations to try to get the JJ deal done. It's possible because, that's $9.9 million that they just added to the kitty, but you also have to keep a rainy day fund where if you have a rash of injuries to be able to sign some players. Oh, me too, Ryan. Listen, hold on. Oh, no, I don't have the go for one up. I took the go for one down when I put the flag up. But having said all that, no, I'm at the same point with you. I'm at the same point. I wish we would have got him. What was I saying? I am missing. Well, that's all right. You know what? He'll be a good show.
Should I introduce everybody to my worthless opinion?
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Throw
that up there.
All right. This is dad jokes with my worthless opinion. Let's see, make sure.
Dad jokes with Kirk, day 8. How does the moon cut his hair?
I've got everybody.
Eclipse it.
From here.
Say what? Okay.
How does the moon cut his hair?
Oh, okay.
Eclipse it.
Yeah.
It's a dad joke. It's supposed to be corny.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
But hey, thanks for being a sport. My worthless opinion. You're awesome. And I dig the shirt. What are you doing? Taking a time out?
No, I'm looking at a photo that Dave from First and Skull sent me about that play where Antoine Winfield Jr. blitzed.
Oh.
It was a good call by them, and they executed it well.
Well, it was a game plan. You got Ed Ingram.
Right. Well,
and it's like let's talk about CJ Ham. 22 snaps. That's got.
That's too many.
He used up all his snaps for the year, I think.
That's way too many. Shout out Timothy in the building. What's going on, Timothy? Yeah, that's way too many. And my problem with it is that you're giving Kirk Cousins a nookie blankie that he's going to take if he feels rattled, and at some point take some of his comfort zone away from him so that he doesn't be throwing all these checkdowns. I'm not trying to be a pile on Kirk.
It's got to be a future thing because the first half he had like 270 yards. So, that's where most of his snaps were.
Were they?
Well, they only had 3 drives the second half, so 8 of them were in the first half. So
that's true.
Most of his snaps were in the first half, and CJ Ham dropped one.
Mhm.
Hit him in the hands. But other than that is like, what? I don't know. I just having him in there for freaking 22 plays was just a lot.
Yeah, I don't mind him being in there as a blocker, but
Do you think that's what it was? Is that the game plan and being afraid that we couldn't block, and that's why he's in there? You know, why is he out wide and Addison's on the sideline? Isn't that what
well,
happened?
okay. Here's the thing about that play, and I saw that tweet too. Here's the thing: when you start your play, you've got your quarterback and your offensive lineman, and then you've got your other 5 guys in the huddle. When the other team sees that you have, what was it, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs? Is that what that play was? Was it 22?
Gosh, I don't know. I only saw from the
Well,
side.
my point is that yes, when you go empty backfield, you're trying to get the defense sees that there's 2 running backs, so they're going to play base defense and have 3 linebackers on the field. And then when you go 5 wide, now you've got a linebacker outside of the box. If you have 4 wide receivers and a running back, well, then they're going to put DBs in that. So part of the design is to try to say, okay, we're fooling them with our personnel of 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 running backs, and we're coming out in a 5 wide formation in order to not have 5 or 6 defensive backs on the field. So I get it. You're going to run a play with 5 wides, and you're going to have Addison on the bench and CJ Ham in the play. So I understand. We can't just look at the results of what the play was wrong.
And
You
here's
have to look at the idea.
I think here's what people have complaints at is that the other hard choice, Ingram, you need to sit down. The other hard one is, hey, KJ, we're gonna start Addison in 2 receiver sets because that's 22 plays that Addison was not in the game, and I think most Viking fans believe Addison's the better player, and I want the better players on the field.
No, I
And
totally agree.
bring KJ in on 3 receiver sets because Jordan Addison's the better player. That's 22 plays. Jordan Addison, we would have Jordan more plays that we'd have Jordan Addison.
And I think over the course of the season, that'll change a little bit. All right, I got a couple of starts that I want to address in these comments here. So you take your drink. So Gary's like it. So at this point, do you keep Kwesi or bring Rick back? Rick will never be brought back, not with this ownership. But to the next point, do you think the front office will ever go back to winning in the trenches versus going after all skill positions? We struggle with physical teams. I don't know. I think part of it is the decree from the ownership to say, no, I want you to keep these players last year and see if we can be competitive, to see how much of it was Mike Zimmer. And I think then at that point, you also have to remember the salary cap issues that they bring in so that they have to go in certain directions. I would love to see them go in that direction, but there's going to be times where you have to sacrifice the short term for the long term. And we have seen that this ownership group is never really interested in sacrificing the short term for the long term. Now, next one that I wanted to bring up was
can I add on to that a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me piggyback on that one.
So yeah.
The issue there is we tried. All 5 of our starting linemen are first or second round picks.
That's a good point too.
So that was that's just kind of like we did invest in it, but we whiffed a little bit. Not everybody, except for our 2 tackles.
Yeah.
Everybody else was kind of like under what we thought they would be.
But I will say this.
Although we did think Ed Ingram was a stretch. I thought he was like a 4th round dude.
I will say this. This goes back to what I said earlier about Ingram. Most offensive linemen are not plug and play guys. Right. You have to draft them and let them sit. Imagine for a second.
Dave made that point.
Yeah. Imagine for a second that the Vikings were still competent at the offensive line when they took Ed Ingram and when they took Garrett Bradbury and Ezra Cleveland, where those guys got to sit and develop for a year or 2. The problem is that they're trying to fix immediate problems with draft picks at positions that need to marinate for a little bit. You need to build your offensive line through the draft, but you still need to let them develop. And otherwise you need to sign, a free agent guard who maybe is costing his, like we did with Steve Hutchinson as an example. We drafted Randall McDaniel and we signed Steve Hutchinson. So the problem is that they were so weak on the offensive line in the interior. Oh, well, we got a 1st round draft pick at center. We got 2 second round draft picks at the guards. That's great. But they weren't ready at the time. They weren't ready.
If Cleveland if Cleveland plays again like the next 2 games like he did, except again run blocking. He's known for run blocking, so I
Right.
feel like he'll pick that back up again.
Right.
But I feel like we just got one spot to fix, and I think we're serviceable at center. And I like just get me a guy. And I've talked about Reisner on a specific video, and I brought it up a couple of times. This guy is an amazing pass blocker. He's got what they call individual hands. You know, like not individual, it's something else called, but independent hands. Where he'll
Independent,
put a
yes, that's
hand
the
up,
one.
hand and it'll get swiped. He'll bring the other one up and he'll bring it back. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. Much like Josh Oliver's blocking tapes, this is similar. Like he's that good at pass blocking, and I think he's serviceable at run blocking. And he does go to the second level. He's one of those guys as team player, running down, picking up the running back when he gets tackled. He's down the field looking for someone else to hit, and I love that in him.
I wanted to address a comment that Kofi made, because I think Kofi might have taken what I was saying out of context. He said, JJ wasn't clear soon enough. Stop with the madness, as if Kirk purposely avoided. I was not suggesting that he was purposely avoiding JJ. I'm not saying that Addison wasn't the right read. I wasn't saying that, Kofi. Okay. What I was saying was that on that play, it appeared that the offensive line did block it well enough to where he didn't need to feel like he was rushed. And I only brought up the JJ, where was he on the field, is because on Sunday, Rapp said that to me from where he was sitting, that on that play, he felt the line blocked it well enough to where Kirk shouldn't have been rushed, and that at that point in time, that JJ, even before he threw the ball, was already cleared. Now, I'm just going by what he said, because I remember the play and the result. I don't remember where JJ ended up on that play or where it was at the time. So, again, I'm not saying it like he's avoiding Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins isn't stupid. Of course, he's not going to avoid Justin Jefferson. So I'm sorry if it came off a different way, Kofi, but I didn't mean it that way.
So I didn't look at that play in depth, but it did look like Addison was open, and that guy just closed the space.
And again, let me be clear. I criticized Addison to say, hey, you can't round off a route like that. You got to snap off that route to not give that defender an opportunity to get back.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, you look at it.
I mean, I was thinking when I saw that, I'm like, first down, get the fucking first down, right? It's like, and like Addison's open, do it. And I wasn't looking for other players. I guess I wasn't. Right. So I have to go look at that. And I did see two plays earlier in the game where there was somebody open that he didn't get him to. There was a TJ Hawkinson that could have got open farther downfield, but we got the first down. We got, it's like it didn't hurt us. Maybe it hurt us in that play. I don't know. I have to go back and look, but
shout out to Jacko Bluntly. Hey, to the victors go to spoils. You guys got to win. Shout out to you guys. Good game. And I appreciate you not being a total, troll job D-bag that other fans of other teams would do. So why sign Oliver if you're only going to run 14 times? That's a dang good question, Skull TYA. That is a dang good question.
It was the same deal last year. We wouldn't run the ball.
Shout out to Zed31 is in the building. What's going on, Zed? I.e. rebuild properly. Yes, going back to drafting the interior offensive line and building up your line to be in the trenches and all that good stuff. I totally agree. T-Bass, my girlfriend says I have wandering. T-Bass, we don't got prizes, okay?
I got independent hands.
Yeah, independent hands and one. Gary, I've got your comment start about JJ's extension. We're gonna get to that in just a second. I believe they threw Ingram in too early. No, I've been saying that for a while. I totally agree, Mary.
I thought, we thought Reed was gonna be the starter, and then we were like pleasantly surprised that a rookie was gonna start. And like, okay, we found a guy, but nope. Hey, I think T-Bass and Sarah should meet. No.
Oh, no question about that. I don't know. You show up. I love it. Happening. I said that earlier before you got here, Sarah. I said that. Well, Mr. McFadden agrees with me that JJ was wide open and he panicked and threw too fast. So I'll just take his. I mean, again,
panicked, huh?
I don't know about panic. I think he just rushed it. There's a difference. But I live in Florida. It's hot down here. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's just. But how does one get the all 22 film? Where do you pay for that, by the way?
NFL Plus. I think you can get it there. I got it. I'm looking. I'm actually trying to find that play.
Well, while you're looking that up, I'm going to put Gary's comment on here. And we're going to wrap in about 3 to 4 minutes here. So, and if you haven't already done so, hit them like buttons. Hit those subscribe buttons too. Help a boys get their numbers up here. I got 3 weeks before I can apply to YouTube. And let me try and get up to 800 by a couple weeks, because if I can get there, I'm going to be in good shape. So if you haven't already subscribed to me, that's Purple and Gold for Days. If you have not already subscribed to Vikings First and Skol, both on their YouTube page and on their podcast aggregator, Spotify, Apple, etc., please hit that channel up as well. I do some podcasting freelance on there, and I do appear on their shows on occasion. I will be on their post-game show this Thursday, since Rap and I are not doing one, because Rap's doing a live stream on his app. So again, if y'all can hit up Vikings First and Skol, both on YouTube as well as your podcast aggregator, as well as Dave on Minnesota Sports Talk. I mean, we got to share the love. We're all one community. We're just trying to.
There's the names right here.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, so Gary says, not extending JJ a mistake. Yes. How big a contract do you give him? Whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, there was people like put
don't
on
care.
Twitter like, "Hey, should we trade JJ if?" and people like quoting trade J if. No, just
Yes.
no. Yeah. Hey, there's a shout out to Jalen Naylor for making that special teams play.
Yeah, that was a great play.
And Najee Harris, not so much. Najee Thompson, not so much. But I think he's gonna be fine. Their better punt return. Najee Thompson just blew by the play. Yeah, you blocked out of the play. But Jalen Naylor burned on that field and just timed it perfectly.
I think the 13:49 mark is the fumble mark, and that was the picture he sent me that I was looking at that I was going to send to you there. But that might be easier. Look at the 13:19 mark. But I digress. Y'all have a good night. All right, Northfius, go fix your water pump on your truck. We appreciate you stopping by. Shout out to Northfius one more time for the Vikings flag, the Purple and Gold for Days flag with my logo on it that the boy had made for me and bought for me. I appreciate you, Northfius. I appreciate you. Let's talk about the play of Mekhi Blackman. I was happy with it. How about you guys?
With that, I talked about the cornerbacks. I didn't say Mekhi Blackman, but yeah, I feel pretty good about that one. I was saying he's going to start this year. And he starts at the nickel,
Y'all want to run Kwesi out of town. We got to give him some props, at least for one game. Mekhi Blackman.
The second year has been a better boom for the draft class than the first one, but
to say the least. Oh, we're not saying it like that, Scoto. Yeah, we know it's not easy. We're just saying that offensively, it's unfair to the offense to expect perfection, but it's not unreasonable to say, hey, you guys have to pull more of your weight than the defense does, because that's where the talent lies. That's what kind of team we want to be. So unfortunately, when you only have 3 possessions in the second half and 2 of them go for 3 and outs, and when you only have 11 possessions for the game and 6 of them go for 3 and outs, they're going to be taking a little more heat than the defense is. That's just the reality of the situation. That's a lot of things that Dave and I would argue about last year, particularly in that playoff game. Did the offense per se do enough? Sure. But guess what? They didn't do enough considering their defense. Is that fair to them? Not really. Is it the reality of if they're going to win, that's what they're going to have to do? Yeah. So, again, it's one game. The season is not over. I'll say this. Let's just wrap it by talking about this Philly game, and then we'll get up out of here. Thank you, Raymond. We appreciate you. Got to give Kwesi a fair chance, though. No, totally agree. Zone says
I watched the play.
Yeah. Which one? Are you talking about the fumble, or are you talking about the last play?
No, the one you and Rapper talking about. So they were going to high-low him.
Yeah.
And Kirk Cousins threw the out route like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And the corner that was covering Justin saw it and broke off of him. Like that caused him to leave Justin Jefferson alone. Okay. And there was a safety over the top.
Okay.
So he would have went with Justin. There was a safety over the top, but that guy broke when the ball got thrown. So he let Justin go. So yeah, it could appear like Justin was wide ass open, but he broke to Addison to clean up the play. But yeah,
and that's fair then. That's fair. I mean, again, I didn't see it. Again, Rap said to me, "Oh, he was wide open." I was like, "Oh, really? I didn't see that." That's why I brought it up.
He broke open because his guy left.
Because the defense saw that the ball was out of his hands.
The ball was in the
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
right
fair.
there, balls in the air, he let him go, and then there was a safety over the top. But yeah, could he have beat them? Yeah, he could have beat them.
All right, Kofi.
Yeah, it could have been, but Addison looked open, and that guy just made a play.
Okay, Kofi, here's what I'm gonna ask from you, because I know you're a loyal fan and you've been in our chats all the time. If you didn't watch my episode yesterday, watch the first. I mean, watch all of it because JJ's in there for the last 2/3 of it. So, shout out to my nephew JJ, our nephew, pseudo nephew JJ. But watch the first 25 minutes of my episode yesterday, where I completely made it a point to say that it's not all Kirk, it's not all the line, it's not all KOC's play calling, it's all of the above. Yes, I explicitly said that Kirk probably got in his head because the offensive line at times did not do well enough, and he was probably rushed. I totally agree.
And
Totally
one more
agree.
thing about the play.
Yeah.
He got hit right when he threw it.
Did he?
Like
All
right
right.
when he threw
So
it.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said,
Rap
brought it up to me
65,
Sunday night. So I
that's
said
Schlottman, right?
65. Yeah, I think that's Schlottman. That's got to be the
Yeah.
center. Yeah.
Who is it? Yeah, it's here we go. Let me see the play really quick.
Yes, we're done talking about Kirk.
Yeah, it was
we're
a
gonna
stunt.
talk about this game.
It was a stunt. Ingram.
Okay.
Yeah. Fucking yeah, he was gonna get hit right when he threw it.
Look at the other Cunder Lion fan being proud. That is funny. That's funny. So Sarah, refers to Zoe as an undercover Lions fan. If you
45, whatever his name is, 45.
All right, but I digress. Well, okay, so let's wrap it up by saying this. My official pick I'll make on Thursday. Right now, I'm leaning towards Vikings lose by around 10. I hope that they find a way to pull out this victory, and if they do, we're gonna celebrate it. If they lose by 24 points or something ridiculous, if they get blown out, then it's going to be batting down the hatchet time, because that makes the Chargers game a virtual must win. I know I can't call it a must win with you because they don't get eliminated if they lose this game and if they lose against the Chargers. So by the strictest definition of the word, no, it's not a must win. So I'll call it a pseudo virtual must win. They've got to find a way out of this box. They lost a lot of their margin of error by losing to Tampa Bay, a team that you had penciled in a win for, a team that you on paper are better than, and you were playing at home. Is it impossible that they can win this game Thursday? No, it's not impossible. They absolutely could. In 2018, after getting blown out by Philly in the NFC Championship game, they went into Philly's house and beat them.
I'm feeling better than I did before the season started, honestly, even after this loss, because of the way Philly played. So
even after the way we played, isn't that kind of wash?
No, I expected us to play better, not have 3 turnovers. So that makes.
Well, why don't you expect Philly to play better?
I don't know why you argue about this.
I'm not arguing.
I just feel better that the fact that Eagles aren't going on all 4 cylinders.
Okay.
And who knows? Maybe we fix our mistakes better than they fix theirs.
Okay.
70 yards passing by Philly. It's like, we stuffed the run a lot better than we did last year. Even though
I agree with. We did very well against the run.
I feel like I just feel better, man, than I did at the beginning of the season.
I will. I
think we should have won that game by 2, at least 2 scores, possibly 2 touchdowns. If we just if we replaced one guy, I think that. But then that eliminates probably 2 turnovers, and right there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of what happened to the Vikings was a lot of fluke stuff. It was a fluke fumble caused by your own guard. It was a hell of a defensive play by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on that blitz. It was disguised pretty well.
How many strip sacks has Kirk had in the last 3 years? Barely, I don't think.
Well, last year he was much better. The first
the first
Zimmer
2
era, he was
the 2018 year. It was was a big problem.
18 and 19 were really bad. 20 and 21 got better. Last year was decisively better. I'll give him that. And then again, it was just one of those deals where I don't know if it was the line that should have been making that play call, or if Kirk should have been making those protection calls, or a combination thereof. You just got to give it to Tampa Bay. They made a great
I think
play.
It might have to do with Schlottman, because I wasn't impressed with his preseason stuff, because we got Schlottman in there doing it, and it's like maybe he doesn't know, right? So
right. I mean, yes, if the Eagles continue their struggles and the Vikings fixed their struggles, could they win that game? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just saying that I think Jalen Hurts is a little bit of a step up over Baker Mayfield. I agree with what you just said a moment ago that we did
Baker
a very
played
good,
with some grit though.
He
didn't
did.
He? Like
He
he
did.
really got
Baker's
better and
capable.
better throughout the game.
Baker's capable of having 2 or 3 games a year like that. And that's one
Yeah.
of the things I said in the preview is clearly Baker Mayfield did not live up to being a number 1 overall draft pick, but he's got 2 or 3 games a year where he can ball out like that. What I'm saying is Jalen Hurts is a much more refined quarterback. And if Jalen Hurts were to have a gritty performance like that, it wouldn't be as big as a surprise as it is for Baker. So when you talk about the Vikings
He's fumbling, that'd be good.
well, that's the thing. He's starting to turn into a little bit of an Adrian Peterson Dante, where he's got a little ball security issue. But I'm just saying, I agree with you that we did well against the run for the most part on Sunday, and we're going to need all of that and a lot more when you're talking about the Philly run game, because again, you've got a better offensive line than Tampa Bay. You got a better quarterback who can also run than Tampa Bay. So yes, they're going to be tested in the run game early and often, I do believe, defensively. What are you talking about,
for
Gary?
Harrison Smith, man? I know he.
Yeah, I didn't hear him.
They blitzed him on this play that I'm watching, but
they did.
He didn't get anywhere near the quarterback.
No, I hope that I hope they continue with that. But at the same time, I hope that what I saw was it looks like Harry lost a bit of a step there, because there was times he would get to the quarterback a lot better than that. But having said that, I read Sid and Know Your Humor. Now I fully took your bait. That not actually. I have no idea what are you talking about.
He's probably talking to somebody else. Is there a Sid in the house?
I don't know. I haven't seen. Is he talking about Sid Hartman, or what is he talking about? I don't know. But anyway, there was one.
Did Sid pass away last year? Was it the year before?
Yes.
Last year.
Yeah. Well, actually, it might have been a year and a half ago. But yeah, Sid and Bud and Joe Cap were the threes that around here. That, and again, I know you're not in Minnesota, but yeah, Sid Hartman. As a matter of fact, Sid Hartman shared a birthday with my dad. As a matter of fact, Sid Hartman was 28 the day my dad was born.
Wow.
Listen here now. Nothing about Dennis Green was his fault. You talk about okay. I referred to Paul Allen as Sid Hartman Jr. So if I'm telling you that Paul Allen is somebody Jr., that guy was a homer. Okay, whatever you think of Paul Allen and his homerism, Sid was.
And I'll still hold on. If you get to walk the halls the same place as those players, you're gonna be that way too.
I'm saying even before he was Paul was a homer long before he was affiliated with the Vikings. That's just who he is. But I digress. We don't need to go down that road again. Well, anything else? I know I said we were going to go about 10 minutes ago, and here we are still yapping. So clearly, Rap hasn't texted you.
No, I just said earlier that he's putting out a video, and we won't have the show.
Oh, I did not hear. I'm sorry.
You're not paying. You don't pay attention.
I thought you said that you hadn't heard.
No, I said we aren't having the show.
Oh,
we aren't having the show. Hey, last chance today.
Hold on, I got to get one for Vegas. Yeah, listen here now. If you leave this town, you'll never get a job in this town again. Because once you leave Minnesota, let me hear you say it. You're not welcome back here. That's for you, Vegas. Yes,
was that a Chuck Knobloch take or what?
Well, it's anybody who ever left Minnesota. If they left Minnesota, it's like you'll never get another job in this town again. If you're too good for us now, you'll never be good for us later. That was.
So email me at mnsportspodcast@gmail.com that you've rang the bell for and just send an image of ringing the bell for Justin and ringing the bell for me, and you'll get 5 entries to the free Justin Jefferson autographed jersey. We'll be running contests on my channel, possibly Justin's. We'll talk about it, and then GG Sports. So there you go. Just email me, mnsportspodcast@gmail.com.
That way. The pointing thing doesn't work. I forgot that he changed the layout. There you go. Appreciate you, Vegas. I'm glad you got to join us tonight, and we look forward to seeing you throughout, as well as everybody who joined in the chat tonight. I'm not going to read names because I'd be here for another 15, 20 minutes, but Love the sit. Yeah. If you haven't already done so, hit those like buttons on the way out. Go to the other channel that you didn't watch it on and hit the like buttons on that. And again, if you're not subscribed, hit us up and feel free to leave comments. And by the way, feel free to leave comments on any given video if there's a particular topic that you want us to cover. We're happy to do that. We take videos or at least I do. I don't know if Dave does. I'm sure he would though. If you said to I said, leave a comment on any video if you have a topic by request that you want us to do.
Oh, for sure. I did 3 videos last year because people asked me to do one on a particular subject. So, yeah, email me too, anytime.
Absolutely. With all that being said, tomorrow night, at least on GG and on Minnesota Sports Talk, and possibly on more channels, because I thought I saw in the chat that we might do another mega simulcast like we did for draft night, but at least on Minnesota Sports Talk and GG Sports, if not more, at either 6:30 Central Time, it's normal time, or 8 o'clock Central Time if we decide to push it back, whatever the group decides.
8 o'clock Central. Oh,
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be get a big show.
That was that. Okay, let's just call a spade for a spade. 6:30 Central Time, you're going to bump into one bar in Lupagus. So if you go at 8 when they're done, we'll get a bigger audience. But I digress. It's not my call. I can only get there if I get there. But in all seriousness, like, comment, subscribe. Check out tomorrow night. Again, I will be on Thursday for a pregame. Dave will be on for a pregame. Dave will live stream. And as always, just one before we die. Hopefully we get this win on Thursday. Thank you kindly, everybody, for joining us. Skol to the next episode. Dave, what do we say?
Let's go to the bowl.
That'll work.
All right.